bosses don't listen to their lies. Us poor folks haven't got a chance unless we organize. Which side are you on?
Did you know that Diet Pepsi is not vegan?
Really?
Really? And
Is there like red? Doesn't Red 40 have?
no, this is the crazier part.
Oh shit!
It's not vegan, and they won't tell anyone why.
Stop it!
I'm not even joking.
Are you being dead serious?
I'm dead serious. They said it's not commercially, not viable, commercially advantageous for them to tell, like, why it's not suitable for plant-based diets.
I'm sorry, that should be illegal.
That's what I know. It's like,
What's in
what do
there?
you mean? And like, apparently, I mean, they've like, it's on their website and shit. And like, apparently, I mean, they're not like in trouble with the FDA, so I don't know if it's like they're not violating anything.
Thanks,
but like,
FDA.
yeah.
What are you good for?
Do we trust the FDA?
No,
really?
0%. But what the fuck? I'm scared.
Yeah, I don't
Not
know.
like I'm ever drinking Diet Pepsis.
I mean, yeah, same. I was just Eden like got some from work, like that were just broken, so they just took them home.
Yeah.
And I was like, I can't drink those. And Eden was like, why? And I was like,
Secret.
beats me.
Beats me. Who knows?
Third ingredient of Diet Pepsi. Like, I don't know. But yeah, we were like going down the rabbit hole, like looking into it. People think it's a gelatin. Because apparently some juice has gelatin, so they might make it with the gelatin, but then like strain it out or something like that. I don't know.
I could see that.
But the weird thing is, like, Diet Coke is vegan, but not Diet Pepsi. So it's not like a diet soda
Is regular
thing.
Pepsi vegan?
Yeah.
What?
Diet Pepsi is the only one that's not vegan.
Okay.
Like Pepsi Max is vegan. Like all the other fucking Pepsis
Thank
that
God
exist.
for that.
Yeah. So
That's
if you're ever,
wild.
If you're plant-based diet and you're ever craving a Diet Pepsi,
If you're ever
don't.
trying to Addison Rae it,
yeah.
you're not going to be able to.
Yeah, literally. Fucking Kylie Jenner and the
Oh my God.
ending racism, ending police brutality with that Pepsi commercial.
That was so. She continues to just do things that are so like tone deaf.
Yeah.
Where you're like,
yeah.
Kylie.
And Kylie, you couldn't have thought that this, like, did no one say like, hey,
Yeah.
maybe don't.
Which,
right?
like, I guess that wasn't even really. I mean, she was in the commercial, but it certainly wasn't her
It was
idea.
Pepsi, yeah.
Nobody at Pepsi was like,
Yeah.
maybe not this one. Maybe not.
It's wild to me how many like companies just have shit where it's like really nobody.
Not a single
we were talking about
person
the
at the
fucking
table.
Del Taco Poppers thing.
That's
weren't we?
right. Yeah, we were.
Not
we
a
were.
single. Either not a single gay person in that boardroom, or
Yes.
like there was one who was like, "This is fucking
This is
hilarious."
hilarious.
Yeah.
Which, like, I love it, but
Yeah.
it is. Yeah, it is like. It is just really interesting. You're like, does truly not a single black person work, or not even it has to be a black person. Just like, I don't know, anybody who's like has a brain and
Yeah.
thinks about what police brutality. Like, I don't know, man.
Yeah, it's like that doesn't seem like the right way to advertise fucking Pepsi.
No,
you know?
why?
Like,
What does Pepsi have to do with this?
Yeah.
Like, Jesus, God, and it was like, especially during 2020, the amount of, and like kind of like post 2020, the amount of commercials for companies or like, products that were like related to, and it's like, no, you're not. Like, this is like,
yeah.
this is fucking like sneakers. Like, calm down.
Yeah,
You're
like
not
shit.
ending racism
Yeah,
with your shitty sweatshop sneakers.
Yeah, like it ain't that serious, brother. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. It's companies are funny. I also feel like ads are just so like, I don't know, like they're I mean, most of them are cringe for sure.
Yeah.
But like it's just like advertising has become such a like weird, like they're trying to like catch your attention and make you laugh and like like I don't know, it's like they're like parapsychology, like I don't know.
It very much so. And I feel like a lot of companies now are like doing the thing of like our stance on like blah blah blah.
Right.
And it's like I don't know. It's like, yeah, I guess I like want to know, so I'm not like supporting a company that's like shitty, obviously, but like I just don't like. I'm sorry, Pepsi, your like Black Lives Matter commercial is not doing anything because you are like contributing to the whole problem.
Yeah.
Like,
oh, literally.
you're a $1 billion corporation. Like, you posting fucking Blackout Tuesday thing on your Instagram is like changing nothing for nobody.
Yeah, it's literally. I mean, it's literally
So
like
just
the
like
rainbow.
shut up instead.
Rainbow
It's
capitalism.
exactly.
It fucking made me so mad. I think there was like a Volvo commercial that I talk about when I did that rainbow capitalism video. Shout out the Lefty Agenda. But like there was like a Volvo commercial that was like, we'll be climate neutral by the year 2035 or something like that. And I was like, what does that even mean? Like you're not going to, so you're going to kill the planet up until then, but then by 2035 we'll be like vibes. Like we won't be like protecting the planet, but we'll be neutral.
Like, we're not hurting it anymore.
Which is the most insane thing I've ever heard.
I know, and it's also like I know 2035 is like not that far away, but it's also like, okay, like what are you doing now though?
Literally.
Like what?
I don't know. It's fucking crazy.
It is crazy.
Also, I wanted to say, I feel like there are specific beverages that are like hot girl beverages. Would you agree with that?
Do tell. And yes, I do.
I feel like for instance, like a Red Bull, hot girl beverage.
Definitely. Oh, like if there's a bitch like standing outside, like she's like on her smoke break at work and she's drinking a Red Bull and smoking a cigarette, you're like, I'm not gonna fuck with her.
Yeah, no.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, bad bitch beverage.
Bad bitch beverage.
That's
indeed.
even better, yeah.
Indeed.
Monster, not bad bitch beverage.
It's not.
Neither is
not.
Rockstar.
No, I feel like any other brand of energy drinks are like weird and have lame vibes to me.
Other than like maybe a Celsius Alani, I could see being on the bad bitch.
Celsius and specifically Alani is a bad bitch beverage.
Yeah.
And like Celsius is definitely there because I think they've kind of created this like niche market for themselves and they kind of have a sexy brand to them. Rockstars are the lamest beverage you could ever drink. And I'm like, I am instantly judging you if you're drinking a Rockstar. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I don't.
You know what I thought of today?
What?
Remember Balls?
Yeah, I do.
Remember Balls?
Whoa.
That energy drink, Balls.
That brought me back. Wow.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, damn. But yeah, I mean, I feel like Diet Coke could go either way because it's either like your stepmom or like a bad bitch beverage.
I feel, to me, it's just giving very much Mormon, and I can't associate. It's like it's giving like the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, and they're all showing up with like big gulps of their Diet Cokes, dirty Diet Cokes.
True,
to be specific.
True.
And I just can't. Did you watch Secret Life of Mormon Wife?
Yes.
We did talk about this.
We
okay,
did
thank
talk
God.
about this.
Thank God.
And listener, tell us what you think of the Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Because I was locked in on that shit. It was delicious.
It was insane. I do recall multiple times being like, holy shit. And like, it's interesting because they kind of like, I feel like I was talking to Eden about this. I was like, they kind of had to get like bad Mormons a little bit. Because like,
exactly.
The typical like Mormon housewife life like isn't very, because they're going for like a housewives type show.
It's housewife-esque, and I was like, sure.
You can't really like, I mean, obviously it was like centered around mom talk, but like I was like, you really can't like, just like a typical like Mormon housewife like isn't that interesting.
Exactly. Yeah, it's not gonna be like that exciting. So it's just like her like chasing her 50 fucking kids around.
Yeah.
So yeah, they definitely had to get like some Jack Mormons or just like straight up like, you are not following. Excuse me, I had hiccups. You're not following like any of the Mormon teachings.
Yeah, well, some of them drink and they like.
Yeah.
And one of their fucking husbands has a gambling problem and stuff.
Dude,
like
fuck that
Zach
guy
or whatever.
He's evil, actually.
Yeah.
He's like a bad dude.
Yeah, it seems sus. And then there's the fucking one dude who like everybody was like, I think he's gay.
Oh, Connor.
Whitney's husband. Yeah.
Please. Well, and she even alluded to like she was like, oh, he has this porn addiction to like not weird porn, but she said like I don't know. She like alluded
like kind of covering
something there, and then she alluded to
he had like a Tinder profile.
That's right.
But I was like, was it a Tinder profile?
Exactly.
Was it a Tinder profile?
Or was it a different kind of
Yeah, was it what kind of are we talking? Because and it's funny that like in I guess just the vibe of Mormon culture, like being gay is worse than your husband cheating on you.
Exactly. Exactly.
Which is wild.
God. We got to get to the show, but So I have been, speaking of reality TV, I've been getting caught up on my Housewives of Salt Lake because the new season just came out and I am behind. So I'm on season 4 now. I'm finally like getting into season 4, which I have heard is the juiciest. Nobody spoil it for me. So I'm getting caught up there. But I don't know if you've watched Real Housewives of Salt Lake.
Mostly just with you.
Okay, true. I feel like you know some of the lore. So Maddie and I have been watching, or like Maddie's been watching, and because we started after he got his surgery, and I was like, I have the perfect thing for you while you're on so many drugs.
True.
This is going to be the time of your life. Anyway, and we just got to season 2 where they give like the little, it like the season starts and it like shows like Jen Shah's about to get arrested, and then it's like 2 months earlier, and they make you build up to it. And he was like, "What the fuck?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, we're fucking."
I do
in
recall
it now.
her getting arrested. Yeah,
dude, it's so juicy.
Crazy.
It's so juicy.
Crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, well, we
Let's
can
talk about
start the
this
show.
Whatever. You guys are here for all of this.
It's fun. You like hearing about us.
You have a parasocial relationship with us.
True. And I have a parasocial relationship with you, viewer. So.
That's right.
Whoa.
Thinking
Seductive.
about you, baby.
What's the fucking... Sorry, another tangent.
Whatever.
But fucking Rocco's Modern Life. Do you ever watch that show?
I never really got into it. I think I didn't love the animation.
Yeah, and it got canceled in 1994.
Yeah.
I only watched it because my mom really liked it, so we would watch it together. But he, like, in the show, works at a phone sex hotline.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
And it's a kid's show.
It's a Nickelodeon show.
Yeah, the 90s Nickelodeon cartoons were unhinged.
They were just, like, they were sneaking shit in there.
Oh,
like,
my God, left and right.
I mean, even, like the first 3 seasons of SpongeBob have, like, so many. Like, this one's for the grown-ups, wink, you know.
Uh-huh, exactly. I walked in today and Maddie was watching Hey Arnold, and I was like, I need to fucking watch Hey Arnold again.
Hey Arnold goes, dude.
That was such a good show.
It was a good show. I've heard. I haven't watched it. I don't know that I will. But I've heard Bluey is a lot like that. It has like
I've
a bunch
heard
of
great things about Bluey. I'm like, I don't know if I would actually enjoy it, but I have heard really good things. So
Twoo.
Anyway, okay, fuck. We're talking about, I mean, kind of different things today.
Kind of different.
So I'll just introduce my little topic. I'm going to talk about the life of long haul truckers and why it's difficult.
Article name?
MotherTruckers.
Nice. Hell yeah. Classic.
So I think a lot of us have like a bad perception of semi trucks, or at least we don't love being on the highway next to them, which I can understand.
They do kind of scare me.
You know, they're terrifying. They're massive. If you're behind them when you're driving on a 2-lane highway and they're going so slow and they can't go up the hill fast, it's really annoying. I think I've talked about it on the show, but I was in an accident involving a semi truck.
Yeah.
I think I talked about it on the show. Anyway,
so.
I was fine. Everybody walked away fine. But it was terrifying. And like, I thought I was going to die in that moment. And like, since then I have always thought, like, for our safety, as well as the safety of the truck drivers, like, there's no solution, but like, I don't think that like cars and semis should be driving on the same roads. Like, that's crazy to me. And I know that that's like a massive infrastructure problem and it's never going to get fixed and it's fine. But like,
well, I feel like
it's just kind of crazy,
you know, and I think I mentioned this on one of the past episodes, but I think trucks have gotten too big.
Oh yeah.
There's like 3 fucking like trailers on them sometimes. And I'm like, how do you control that? You know? Like,
no, I know.
I don't know. It's crazy.
It blows my mind. I'm like, I don't even love like driving like a U-Haul around.
Yeah.
You know?
No, for sure. It's like, it's just big. I'm always like, it's going to tip over on me or some shit.
Yeah.
And like, I don't know. Yeah.
I just feel scared. But yeah, so I'm just going to get into like the lives of truckers a little bit. And like, I mean, I don't love being on the road with truckers, but you know, they deserve respect and they deserve you giving them a wide berth.
I imagine it's a hard job.
It's real shitty.
Yeah.
It's not fun. So in the trucking industry, you can either work under a company using their trucks, or the more desirable option is to purchase your own long haul truck and pull company trailers. So like you'll own like just the like little front fucking part of the truck, and then they attach trailers.
Setting up your own rig, brother.
Your own rig, indeed. According to an interview with Josh Geisbrecht, a long haul trucker. Maybe his hair is long. I don't know. I didn't see a picture. Stupid typo. A long haul trucker in Manitoba, Canada. You can make $1 to $1.20 per mile when you own your own rig versus the 35 cents to 45 cents per mile you make as an employee of a company.
Wait, is that like actually the like pay scale, or is that just like, is he just like averaging it out?
I mean, I think that's like, I think it kind of depends like per, you know, company or whatever, but that's like average.
Wow, that's wild, because I feel like paying per the mile is pretty like, that feels like there should be some kind of labor violation there, because
certainly
you need to like pay the minimum wage at least, right?
Right. Yeah. And like, and I'll get into it, like truckers do make pretty good money, but like, I mean, having the payment per mile certainly pushes them to drive more than like they should.
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
So owning your own truck gives you more freedom to customize your vehicle and what you do in your vehicle, things like upgrading or replacing the seats, adding a different stereo, or even bringing a dog along for the ride. I don't know if you've seen this, but there's this guy on TikTok who has like a little cat that joins him on his long haul delivery journeys. It's so cute. Owning your own rig, however, does make you solely responsible for repairs, maintenance, and insurance. And, you know, I mean, it's kind of like owning a home. It's like there's a ton of perks, but it's also like something breaks, and that is 100% on you.
Gotta fucking figure it out,
Josh says that he typically drives anywhere from 600 to 700 miles in a day, and says about his driving schedule, quote, "In the States, I can only drive 11 hours in the 14-hour period from when I start my day to when I end my day. So if I start at 6 a.m., it doesn't matter how far I've driven. I have to pull over at 8 p.m., and I can only have driven for 11 of those hours, and you have to take at least a half-hour break. Then I can't get back on the road until 6 a.m. the next day. In Canada, I get 13 hours over a 16-hour period, and I can drive all 13 hours straight if I want. In Canada, I can drive 70 hours in a 7-day period. In the U.S., it's 70 hours in 8 days. All of the regulations in the state make it harder to drive as far. It's easier to get further in Canada. In total, I run about 12,000 miles a month."
Wow.
Yeah. And like, I see where he's coming from. And again, I'll get into it a bit further here, but like the, you know, driving 11 hours over a 14-hour period and that like forced half-hour break, it is like, there's a definite reason why that's in place, and like it makes a lot of sense. But also, I think I quoted it later, there's like, it can be, it's not the best solution, because then sometimes like your driving frame is like, it's just like kind of fucked up, and maybe you're like driving when you're tired rather than needing to like getting to rest when you should or when you want to. And anyway, so I don't know,
like,
but like
11 hours for the day or whatever.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't know. I mean, it's something, I guess.
Well, yeah. I mean, it sounds like the issue is that, again, like if they're paid by the mile, then they're obviously going to want to drive as much as they can, and it's like, I don't know that 11 hours of straight driving is good for anyone.
Right.
So
yeah, we did. How far was it to San Francisco?
I think it's 10.
Yeah, and I was like, that's my cap, I think, for sure. I don't think I could drive more than 10 hours in a day.
And I mean, and especially if you're trying to get that done in 14 hours.
Exactly.
Like, we took like quite a few breaks.
That's true.
You know?
That's true, yeah.
Like, even going 10 hours, it's like 10 hours over the course of, you know, however long we drove, probably closer to like 15 or 16 hours.
Yeah, that
you
is
get a lot
true,
more breaks
we
than
stopped for food and da-da-da.
I don't know.
According to Indeed.com, truckers are making on average about $110,074 a year,
pretty good.
Which is pretty good, with a low-end rate of about $55,000 per year. According to ZipRecruiter, it looks like most truckers from Utah are making about $75,000 to $80,000 a year, which not bad, pretty good salary.
Yeah.
And if you're pushing to work your max hours and max distance, you have the opportunity to make even more than $110,000 a year. But one could even argue that the job of a trucker like seems easy, and that like all they're doing is sitting in a truck and driving all day. And you know, they make easy money, but the life of a trucker definitely comes with serious challenges.
Totally.
I mean, not only is truck driving a definite skill, as we were saying, I would never want to be behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler at all. Also, funny aside, but so my therapist always uses that metaphor of like, so I was basically telling her like, oh, there's someone in my life who I like kind of let control me. And she's like, basically was saying like, oh, that person doesn't have their life together. And she goes, that's like putting a 3-year-old behind the wheel of an 18-wheeler. And then she had said it like, I think it was literally like the next appointment after I had told her about my accident. And she was like, oh, I'm so sorry. I shouldn't have phrased it that way. I was like, it's fine.
So funny.
But she like literally uses that metaphor like all the time, and it cracks me up every time.
Favorite metaphor
Of all time.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I feel like driving, like, even just a normal car can be anxiety inducing.
For sure.
So I feel like it's a high stress kind of job.
Completely.
Even though you're just sitting there, it's like you're still like operating like a huge truck.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
To me, it seems like, I mean, yeah, because I also have a job where I just sit all day. But
Exactly.
It's like, mine's a lot less stressful.
I mean, yeah. And yeah.
I guess different strokes for different folks, but like,
surely.
I'd much rather talk on the phone all day.
Right, yeah,
than
than
drive a truck.
Fuck. Same.
Yeah.
Also, I don't know if you've ever watched Ice Road Truckers. That shit is
I have.
It's
dude. It's fucking
crazy.
crazy. They're like driving over lakes and shit.
It's horrifying.
Yeah, what the fuck?
And I mean, it's like, I don't know if, I'm sure that's probably like a special set of truckers. I'm sure not every trucker is an Ice Road trucker, but like those people should be making $400,000 a year
I
or
agree.
more. Like that's
$500,000 even.
seriously. Why not? Give it to him.
Yeah, no. Take some of fucking Elon Musk's money and give it to him, dude.
Yeah.
He has too much. Him and Bezos.
Seriously. So truckers have to control a behemoth of a vehicle that can weigh up to 35,000 pounds. And actually, I was reading another article from this woman that said that her truck was up to 80,000. So I'm like,
whoa.
I actually don't have an accurate estimate on that, but fucking huge and heavy is what you need to know.
Jimungo.
Jimungo.
How much is a ton? I forget.
I think a ton is 1,000.
1,000 pounds?
Yes.
So that's
35 tons.
35 tons.
Or more.
Wow.
I hope that's right. Or is a
Let's
ton
see.
2,000 pounds?
How much is a ton?
So not only are
2,000 pounds.
Oh, I did it at the end. Nice job,
you
May.
got it.
So not only are they driving this huge fucking rig, but they also have to be prepared to control that weight in extreme weather conditions, operate on the highway with unpredictable drivers, and deal with uncared for roads that could cause issues with their truck.
Yeah, also true.
I saw, this is like kind of slightly dark, I guess, but I saw this person who had rear-ended a semi, and I mean, the entire top of their car was like gone.
Yeah.
And I was like,
damn.
That person's not alive.
Yeah, I mean,
Not
I
alive.
can't imagine.
God, I know.
Oof.
And it's like, I mean, I don't know the circumstance of the accident, obviously, but it's like, you know, I mean, it's like I see people on the freeway like cutting semi-truck drivers off constantly. And I'm like, what are you fucking doing, dude?
Yeah,
like
like
your life is over. I escaped, thank God. Like, I got out of my accident okay, but like, odds are you're not going to be doing well if
like,
you
it
hit
is
a semi-truck.
a giant truck.
Yes. Like, this is a dinosaur.
Yeah, like, I can't.
Truckers also deal with a host of physical and mental issues from the tough life on the road. Just physically sitting in a chair for 10 hours a day is brutal on the body, as many office workers well know. I mean, I was going to say, like, it's like, it's not comfortable or good for the body to just sit in a chair for long periods of time.
Oh, yeah, no. I mean, and then it's like, and then on top of that, like, you have to, I mean, that's why there's like a big, you know, wave of like standing desks and stuff.
Exactly.
And then, you know, again, on top of that, it's like, it's not good, like, health-wise. Like, that's, I'm sure it contributes to, like, same with, like, office workers, and I'm sure truckers, like, a rise of, like, obesity in that.
Oh, Most
profession.
definitely.
So
Most
it's like
definitely.
you really have to be intentional about like, oh, like I'm going to like
Yeah.
walk around and get
Right.
exercise because I don't just like naturally get it from my job.
Exactly.
Right?
And they can't.
Yeah.
They're stuck in a vehicle. You know, this causes knee problems, back problems, neck problems, and actually the vibration of the truck rumbling over the road is a nightmare on the spine.
Oh, I can't even imagine.
Because it's like, I definitely feel like when I'm driving on like a, you know, long road trip, I'm like, fuck, you know, I got to stretch and I'm really tired at the end of it and everything. And it's like, and then, I mean, they're obviously, we've been saying their vehicle is like huge. So it's like even more like shaking.
Driving in the carpal tunnel, if you know what I'm saying.
Literally. Truckers also suffer from type 2 diabetes, obesity, and cardiovascular disease at a higher rate than most professions, like you were saying. The choices for food on the road are slim. It will typically be a fast food restaurant. I mean, you really don't have any other choice, especially you have this huge rig, so you have to be stopping at somewhere that has like the ability for a truck stop or a rest area. You're not going through a drive-through. Like, or like, you know, you can't stop at like a cute little restaurant
like,
somewhere.
You're probably not, like stopping your truck, especially if you're trying to like eat and then hit the road as fast as you can. Like you're not going to a little sit down place, you know?
Yeah. And I would say that no fast food restaurants are offering very healthy options, especially if that's most of your diet. You're kind of set up for failure. As we were saying before, the option to exercise is few and far between with the long hours that they work and the small space that they're confined to, as well as there not being gyms out on the road. I mean, come on. Truckers don't really have an option to care for their muscles or even to really stretch as much as they should to protect their musculoskeletal system. I mean, like we were saying, it's like you and I take a road trip and we're stopping, I don't know, probably every 2 hours or so, 3 hours to like pee at least.
Yeah.
And every time everybody gets out to go pee, you're going to like stretch it out really quick. And like these guys are sitting in their truck for, I mean, probably like 10 hours straight.
Yeah, that's crazy, man. Like,
yeah.
And yeah, I mean, like you were saying, and I'm sure like a lot of them too, just for the sake of like, you know, you stop at 8 p.m. or whatever. You're like, oh, I'm going to hit the road at 6. Like it's pointless to just get a hotel. So I'm just going to sleep like in the top truck area
Exactly.
or whatever. So it's like, yeah, there's really not any like place for them to go and like, I mean, yeah, you could get out and stretch, but
right. And it's like, I mean, they're doing this every day for like their entire life.
Yeah.
Like we go on one road trip and then I'm probably not going to do it again for like a year.
Yeah.
Not to mention that truckers are exhausted at the end of their day and, as I discussed, typically suffering from a multitude of body pain issues. And so that makes finding the time or the motivation to exercise extremely difficult.
Oh, yeah.
Because of the physical and mental toll of the job, many truckers struggle with addiction and high-risk behaviors. Many truck drivers self-medicate with alcohol to help ease pain, numb loneliness, and get to sleep. Truckers are often addicted to opiates after a doctor has prescribed them to assist with the body pain. Side note, if you haven't watched the show Painkiller on Netflix, you know me, I'm always recommending shows. It's a really great show. It's like definitely kind of like dramatic or whatever. I mean, it's a TV show. It's like scripted. But it like delves into the opiate epidemic and the dangers of opiates, which could definitely be an episode all on its own. But like, I mean, I'm truckers are certainly like part of that customer base is like they suffer from this crazy back pain and whatever other body pain they're having. And so, and then it just builds and builds. It's bad.
Yeah. And also a side note, fuck Netflix. You know what you did. You made it so I can't use other people's accounts anymore. I don't even have a Netflix subscription right now because I got kicked out of my grandma's.
My grandma's. No, it's literally the stupidest shit ever because I'm like, okay, I can't, it's so
and
dumb.
I'm like, what, am I going to pay fucking $8.99? I don't even know how much the actual subscription is. I've never paid for it.
$15.
What am I going to pay $16 for like a couple of great shows and mostly mid shows?
Garbage.
And a bunch of fucking mid-ass shows.
Yeah.
Netflix, make better shows and maybe I'll buy I'll buy my own subscription to it. But like,
I know,
why would I do that when I can mooch off every other streaming service that hasn't done that yet?
Exactly. And I'm gonna keep
actually
mooching.
pay for, I don't know, Max or something,
right,
that has like mostly good shows.
Yes I know. The amount, and it's like I'm like scrolling through there and I'm like, what even fucking is this?
Yeah.
Like, what is this show? I've never heard of this in my life, and it sounds like the stupidest bullshit I've ever seen, and it is usually the stupidest bullshit I've ever seen.
Yeah,
and then they always cancel their best shows. I've talked about this before, and I'll talk about it again. They give like 1 or 2 seasons to the greatest shows ever, and then cancel them forever, and then you never get to see them again.
Literally,
it's terrible.
There was this one time when I was living with my first roommate. I watched like I don't even remember what it was called, but it was basically like a documentary on like porn stars or something.
Oh, I feel like I remember that.
And I watched it on our like her Netflix account because we just like
oh no,
it was on the thing or whatever. And then she like texted me and was like, "Did you watch something about like porn stars?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, I just like put it on. I don't know."
Yeah,
like,
it's interesting.
At this point, I'm 20. Like I'm not.
Yeah,
like, whatever.
And it's not like it's actually porn. It was
porn.
about the life of porn stars.
Yeah, and she
I
was
remember
like,
it was interesting.
Yeah, and she was like, "Oh, my mom saw it on the account and thought that my younger brother was like watching it to like." Jerk off. I don't know why, but I was like, oh no, that was me. You can tell your mom it was me.
Yeah, I'll take the blame. Oh my god, that's so funny.
Very funny. Anyway,
truckers may practice unsafe sex in order to gain companionship. In one of the articles I was reading, it was saying that like they will, hire a sex worker and like not even really care to have sex and just like want somebody to like talk to and like touch.
Yeah, I mean, that makes sense.
They're on the road by themselves for like weeks.
Yeah, weeks at a time.
And perhaps worst of all, there's a high usage of crack amongst truckers. In order to stay awake, alert, and focused on driving, truckers will use crack to make it through the long days and nights of monotonous driving. I'm sure we told this story like 100 times of the gas station caffeine pills that we took. That shit was fucking wild.
Crazy.
Like, I felt insane.
I was vibrating, yeah.
Oh, my whole body was vibrating, and I was like, I will never, not like I was ever gonna do crack, you guys, but I was like, this is enough for me, I'm like I think I'm good on this.
Just the gas station caffeine pills.
just the
gas
station
sober.
caffeine pills for me, sir.
Yeah. Gas station sober.
Exactly.
Only 2 drugs that you can get at a gas station.
Dick pills and caffeine pills.
Yeah, and like beer, I
guess. And beers,
yeah.
So I mean, it's like I can imagine that in caffeine, even in pill form, can only go so far for so long. And if you're like up driving for like hours and hours, you're tired, you have to get up early, your body hurts. Like eventually you're gonna have to up the ante, and crack is quick acting, cheaper drug that I would imagine is pretty easy to get out on the road.
Yeah, I mean that, and then it's also like, kind of what you were saying. Like if you're having to do this like over and over and over every day for weeks on end, like caffeine is great, but like there's gonna be a point where you're like, I just need something more. Like
like I need something that's going to like boost this for me and like make me like be able to focus more. Because like you said, I mean, it's like it's just like over and over and over, and like just staring at the road for like days and days. You're gonna not be able to like do that at some point, and crack is right there.
Well, another thing I was gonna say as far as like the hiring sex workers and stuff is like, I feel like the life of a long haul trucker also doesn't really accommodate like a steady partner very well.
It certainly doesn't.
So it's like that is like another reason why it's like you get home and they're like you're up by yourself again.
Exactly.
So you're kind of I don't know, just like a drifter. So I can see why that would also contribute to like just hiring somebody to like talk to. Exactly.
There's that whole like idea of like lot lizards, and I don't know how true that is, but like I certainly could see there's a market there. I
mean that makes sense. I could see. Again, maybe not as the media portrays it, but I could see it being a thing for sure.
For sure. And I have a quote from Pacific Standard. Couldn't remember where I got it from. That just kind of goes into a little bit more about this like culture of like needing to keep driving. Quote, truck stops and rest areas can fill up, meaning that some truckers who need to stop driving because of duty limits or because they're too tired to continue are forced to just keep going. So it's like in that situation, it's going to be what, I don't know, 100 miles to the next rest stop. And it's like, okay, well, I have to make it there. I'm exhausted. guess I'll smoke some crack.
Smoke a little crack, I'll get there, and then I'll vibe. Like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly.
It's like, again, so many side tangents.
Whatever.
When I was, again, also 19, I was on tour with my band, and we were with this other band. And the lead singer of this other band, again, we're like 18 or 19-year-olds, and he's like in his 30s. And he's like, yeah, man, like, you know, you're on stage every night, like you're pouring your heart out, playing the music and stuff. He's like, dude, you got to do a little cocaine to get you through.
And you're like, huh?
I was like, what? And again, yeah, like 18-year-old me was like, what? And like,
I just saw titties for the first time last week.
Yeah, literally. Like, I got drunk in Colorado like a day ago for the first time. Like, now you're telling me there's like, we got to start doing cocaine.
We have to.
Yeah, dude, it's so funny. But again, maybe, you know, when you're 30, maybe you do need to do cocaine to perform every night. I don't know. Or
I'll let you know next.
Or maybe
year.
he was just a drug addict. But
right. That's highly possible.
Yeah, for sure.
Well, you know, we're gonna take a break.
Take a little break.
Rail a line.
Yeah, I mean, when you're podcasting every other Monday,
pouring your heart out, you have to do cocaine.
I've always said that. I've said that since day one of the podcast.
And we've held to that.
Yeah, I'm like, this is a cocaine
fueled
and positive space.
Absolutely.
And that's
Yeah. Parody for the feds that are listening. Parody.
Yes, it is parody. I actually don't do cocaine
I've
anymore.
never done a drug in my life.
Yeah, no, I have not. So, yeah. Break time.
Anyway.
We're back. So, on the break, we were talking about, masturbation. But more so in the sense of, like, the weird things you were told when you were, like, 14 in middle school.
Yes.
Like, when you sit on your hand to make your hand go numb and then you jerk off, supposedly it is supposed to feel like someone else is doing it.
Right.
Never tried personally, but however, when I was 14, I was in middle school. There was these two guys. I don't remember their names, to be honest, but they were like good friends, these two. And I was like casually friends with them. Like, I could hang a little bit.
Right.
But I wasn't like they were like best friends.
Yeah, you weren't at the inner circle.
Yeah, and I remember they were like scientists testing ways to jerk off and like make it feel better. Like, just like different, like again, running experiments, I swear to God.
Right.
Like, this dude, he told me, he was like, all right, next time you J your O, try cracking your neck right as you're coming. And I was like, he was like, it feels great, dude. I was like, really? Or like, and then he was like, yeah. And then, you know, like, comes back like, you know, 2 days later,
Right.
He's like, dude, all right, next time you're jerking off, like every time I saw this kid,
Right.
bro, next
like,
time you're
you
jerking
have
off,
to try this.
when you feel like you can't move, just move. I was like, what? He's like, yeah, like when your body feels like it's like, you know, paralyzed from the orgasm, just like stand up. And I was like, okay. And I don't know. I don't recall any of them really feeling that great, but
Right, or like too different.
yeah, because honestly, I did try a lot of those things.
Oh, I would.
I trusted this man's word.
Exactly. I mean,
He was putting in the research.
he's got like a diary going that's like, Captain Sog, tried jerking off with my left hand this time.
Literally.
He's like, close one eye, hop up and down on one leg.
Literally. It's like SpongeBob blowing the bubble, literally. Stop on your right foot. Don't forget it. No, literally.
Jerk off your left nut. Don't jerk off your nut.
But it's just, yeah, like, it's so funny that, like, my fondest memories of this kid that I went to middle school with
him being
was
like, you have to jerk off like this,
him,
bro.
yeah, giving me, like, jerk-off tips, which is very funny.
I need you to remember who this is so we can look him up and I can see photos of him and I can be like, that's the jerk-off kid.
That's the jerk-off kid, yeah.
He will forever be the jerk-off kid to me.
Yeah, I'll have to... I'm not going to out the jerk-off kid on the podcast, but I'll have to consider. But
yeah,
that like unlocked a memory in me.
That was
talking about
really beautiful.
The paralyzed hand thing.
Yeah, girls don't talk about that stuff.
Yeah,
We never did.
What did the gals talk about in middle school? I don't know. It was before I was out, so I wasn't.
Yeah, you weren't
wasn't
one of
a
the
girl's
girlies
girl
yet.
Yeah.
I mean, depression. Are my boobs big enough? Like Johnny touched my butt when we were kissing last week. What does that mean?
Okay.
Yeah. Stuff like that.
I feel like we never really talked about dick size. Like we made dick jokes and big dick jokes, but
as you do.
Well, maybe as we got into high school, we talked a little bit more about dick size,
right?
Because there was this one kid. I'm really reminiscing on the podcast
right
now,
this.
But there was this one kid. We were skateboarding or something somewhere, and he it was just funny to show your friends your dick sometimes.
Sure.
And he whips out his dick thinking it's funny, and it was the biggest schlong I've ever seen. It was crazy, and it was just chilling. It wasn't even hard. I was like, whoa,
holy
dude.
Shit, dude.
So I guess at some point, yeah, dick size was a topic of conversation.
Yeah.
But
we definitely would I'm this is too much to say. We definitely would as you're growing your boobs, me and my friend, who I also won't out, I won't say her name, but me and my friend used to show each other our boobs and be like, do you think they're getting bigger? And compare our boob sizes.
Yeah. I feel like that's such a gay moment. Such a gay
and we both are.
Yeah.
We both are. And I'm that makes a lot of sense now.
It all tracks.
Let's look at each other's boobs for no reason at
just
all.
Just to hang out, Yeah.
Anyway, truckers. So Mona Chattel, who is an author of multiple scientific surveys about the health of long haul truckers, Jesus Christ, I had a hard time getting through that sentence, had this to say, quote, 2 drivers actually said that they drive better when they're on crack than without because they're more aware of their environment. How scary is that?
Yeah, that's pretty wild.
That's insane.
Yeah.
That's how tired and bad they are, is it's I'm driving better on fucking crack.
Yeah, if they need crack to be able to drive, that's crazy.
Yikes. I also I saw this ad a while ago for a hat that truckers would wear that can detect when your eyes are closed for a certain amount of time, and it'll start flashing bright lights in your eyeballs.
Wild.
And everybody, I think it was going around leftist Twitter probably, and everybody was why don't we just let truckers take a nap?
Yeah.
Instead of this
truly.
insane bullshit.
I was going to say, we've gotten to the point where we're creating, fail-safe hats that flash bright, burning light into their retinas instead of just, letting them take a break.
So they don't fall asleep at the wheel of an 80,000-pound fucking truck. What are we doing?
Yeah, what's going on here, man?
This is crazy.
Yeah, that's, man, capitalism breeds innovation, as they say.
That's innovative in one way or another.
Yeah.
The mental toll on truckers is very heavy as well. Many of them are suffering from anxiety, depression, and PTSD. Truckers struggle with relationships, as you were saying, due to the length of time that they're out on the road, leading to further isolation even when they are home. Most truckers tend to be friends with other truckers and typically talk over CB radio, on the phone, or in trucker groups, which is wonderful. However, maintaining relationships with non-truckers can be really difficult.
Yeah.
A statistic from an article on Pacific Standard says that, quote, the national divorce rate is 3.6%, but among truckers, it's an insane 19.5%.
Wow.
Yeah. But, it makes sense. You have to be okay with your spouse being gone for, more than they are. The percentage of time that they're gone is larger than the percentage of time that they will ever be home.
Yeah, no, literally. And again, especially if you're, and then, bringing kids into that, it's
exactly.
you're kind of just on your own raising some kids.
Exactly. So. Yeah.
Yeah, that would be rough.
Isolation from loved ones can lead to depression. The long hours and life on the road can lead to anxiety, which can lead to turning to substance abuse to curb the symptoms of these disorders, which then cause depression and more anxiety. And it's a vicious cycle that's extremely difficult to break out of without professional help. Mm-hmm. Truckers are also very prone to PTSD. Getting involved in or even witnessing an accident involving a semi-truck is pretty harrowing to anyone, really, but especially to the trucker. As I mentioned earlier, I was in this really bad accident with a semi-truck that luckily me and everyone else involved in walked away safely from, but seeing the look on that driver's face, I will always remember, he walked out of his truck and was, just pale as a ghost and, mouth open, like shaking. And I was like, are you okay? And he was like, I think. And just was like, holy fuck, everyone's alive, you know? And I'm sure that fucked him up big time. It fucked me up. I know that. Well,
yeah, I mean, I just thought, like, your own safety, but then, like, just the responsibility of having other people's lives. Because, again, like you were saying, like, truck's pretty fucking big.
Yeah,
like,
I mean, the chances of not being pretty severely injured or dying in an accident with a semi-truck is slim. These things are huge.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yeah, that's going to really fuck a person up. Any car or regular, as I literally just said, any car or regular truck up against a semi doesn't stand a very good chance. According to The Atlantic, quote, around a third of the 3.5 million truck drivers in the U.S. will be involved in a serious road accident at some point during their careers. That's a lot of people, more than 1 million, experiencing potentially severe job-related trauma.
Yeah.
And again, even just being a trucker, witnessing another semi-truck related accident can cause them PTSD.
Oh, yeah.
A quote from trucker blogger, his name is Mad Dog, which is pretty sick.
Fucking tight.
I know. I was like, that's such a trucker name. I love it. After a rough winter with a lot of semi-related, this guy, Mad Dog, he says that after a rough winter with a lot of semi-related accidents, he illustrates the pain in this quote. Quote. The sad reality some truckers have witnessed and live with is the screams they hear every night in their nightmares. Those screams are from a young child, much like your own. This is so bad. I'm so sorry, you guys. Holy shit. Pulled from the wreckage beside her dead mother, killed by an ignorant trucker that wouldn't stop in time and crashed. No freight is worth your life, and regardless of any situation, it's not worth going home in a body bag.
Damn, Mad Dog. This is some profound shit.
Seriously,
like,
good God.
Wow. Whew. A little bit more than I expected from someone named Mad Dog.
Right? I know. You're like, wow, Mad Dog's a thinker.
Yeah, Mad Dog's really pondering.
A deeply emotional person.
Yeah. Good for Mad Dog.
Good for Mad Dog.
Yeah.
I have witnessed myself people not taking semi-trucks on the road seriously. Like I said earlier, cutting them off, swerving between them. It's dumb, it's dangerous, and it's potentially fatal. And not to mention, as I'm saying, like the toll that it takes on the truck driver as well. So all that to say, respect truckers on the road.
True.
Guys, for God's sake. With the isolation, body pain, addiction struggles, mental health struggles, and possible PTSD, it comes as no surprise that truck driving is unfortunately among the top 5 careers with the highest suicide rates. This is a bummer. I'm so sorry, everyone. And sadly, it can be quite hard for truckers to find medical help. Being on the road away from home, it makes it hard to have a regular doctor, and definitely difficult to make regular therapy appointments, of course. If a trucker is injured or dealing with an illness out on the road, it can be difficult to find a clinic within their insurance network or at all. The time commitment to trucking makes it difficult to be able to take time off work to heal from an injury, an illness, or an addiction. I mean, it's not like you're going to have time to go to rehab for 2 months, or like, you know, your back is really fucked up and you had to get like surgery for a slipped disc or something. I mean, I guess at that point you're forced to recover, but like maybe you go down on the road earlier. Maybe you, I mean, yeah. A quote from The Atlantic highlights the difficulty of receiving medical care as a trucker. Quote, one trucker friend recently complained that though she informed her dispatcher far in advance of the need to be at home for a crucial medical appointment, when that time came, she was still stuck out on the road and had to cancel the appointment.
Wow.
Yeah. I mean, it's not good.
Yeah.
According to the Bureau of Labor Statistics, 94% of truck drivers are men, and men are less likely to seek mental health services than women, of course, due to societal pressure to like man up, soldier through, blah, blah. Also, people in like working class jobs are less likely to seek mental health treatment, kind of for the same reasons.
Just the expense of it.
And the expense too, right? Like therapy's not fucking cheap at all. It's like really not accessible for a lot of people. As I mentioned earlier, it's also just difficult for a trucker to be able to show up to consistent therapy appointments due to the time constraints of being on the road. And like, I mean, I guess they could zoom in, but like so often you are out of range of service. So, I mean, it's just not
on the side of the highway somewhere.
Exactly.
Like,
there are several organizations working to make the lives of truckers easier. Healthy Trucker is working to teach truckers exercises and stretches that they can do in smaller spaces in order to keep their bodies healthy. They offer tips on where and how to get healthy food on the road, and they offer relationship advice that is curated to truckers. The Keep on Truckin' project, which I just think is really cute, is, quote, an effort to shine a light on the past, present, and future of the truck driving industry in America, exploring all facets of our most pivotal and overlooked economic engine. You can find several articles on Pacific Standard under the Keep on Truckin' label that highlight the experiences and lives of truckers that are both good and bad. There have been some attempts in policy changes to improve the lives of truckers, and this is a quote from Pacific Standard again, and this is kind of what I was talking about earlier. Quote, new federal regulations enacted in 2013 reduce the number of hours a trucker can drive per week. A trucker on the road today can work a maximum of 70 hours, which must be followed by at least 34 hours of non-work before the next work week can begin. Drivers are limited to 11 hours of driving per day, which must include a minimum 30-minute break within the first 8 hours. Perhaps most importantly, drivers are now required to have yearly physical checkups. So, I mean, it's a move, it's a step. As I was kind of trying to say, like, those hour standards can kind of like mess up a trucker's schedule, but I don't know. I mean, it's something, and definitely a yearly physical checkup should for sure be happening. More than that, I would say, but I mean, it's something. As I said, this unfortunately hasn't done much to improve the daily lives of truckers, but it's a step in the right direction, and I mean, it's at least the government is aware of the issues that truckers are facing. Of course, like any difficult profession, there are truckers out there who are happy and healthy and perfectly content in their career. And I don't speak for all truckers or any truckers, really. I'm not a trucker, but believe it or not. But truckers are clearly overlooked and sometimes even disdained by the general population. There's like such a, joke about like the big gross trucker guy and like they're ignorant and this and that. But, they need support. Because if a trucker is not performing at their peak performance, it affects all of us on the road.
Yeah, and it's just class solidarity. Like, they're the working class just as much as everybody else. I am glad you threw those in there. I also looked up if you want to support other things that involve truckers. There's the what is it? The technical name of it here. It's Teamsters is Teamsters.org.
Oh,
but it's the union,
right?
Freight division for like truckers.
That's
and
right.
Other kinds of like dock workers, mechanics.
Yeah,
different stuff. So
thank you. That's right.
If you are a trucker, join the union.
Union, and I don't know if you can donate. Can you donate money to unions? Is that
I'm
a thing?
Sure you can. I mean, I'm sure they wouldn't say no.
Yeah, but I don't know. Spread awareness, I suppose.
Well, let's say Ian and I were talking recently. I was like, that's like a huge thing with unions, like having one set up is that like if you're gonna strike, then like you can have money to not starve to death.
Yeah, exactly.
When you're not working.
Exactly. I mean,
which is a huge part of like why a lot of strikes aren't successful is because like people are like, I can't continuously not work.
I have to eat and like have a roof over my head. I mean, the like dock workers strike right now that's going on.
Yeah, so it's like, if you can donate to unions, especially like you were saying, the ones that are in a strike, it can make a huge difference in them actually being able to get some of the demands.
Exactly. Yeah. I'm so sorry, everybody.
Shivin' the squeaky toy.
Classic move.
Classic Shiv. Classic squeaky toy. You know it. You love it.
You can't have an episode without it,
So true.
I took her on Sunday. Well, me and Maddie took her on Sunday to this like Greyhound walk. They do a Greyhound meetup.
Cute.
It's the cutest thing on the planet. At Liberty Park, and like everybody gets together with their Greyhounds and like Whippets, obviously anything in that like family. She was the smallest by a mile. I mean, and some of those Greyhounds were massive. It was so cute though. It's just like noodle party, and they're all the same like temperament, and it was just the best.
Yeah, I've never met a Greyhound owner who doesn't love, like, isn't just, I don't know,
like overly passionate
about greyhounds.
Oh yeah, it's a thing.
It's a lifestyle, really.
It's really, genuinely, it is. And it's like, sounds so weird, but it is 100% true.
Yeah.
Greyhound people are a thing, and we're all kind of weird about it. And it's okay.
That's fine.
I like where I'm at.
Yeah. Well, so moving to my section, to kind of tag along with Phoebe's topic of long haul truckers, got me kind of considering how do we get from, you know, the barter system to the lovely world of Amazon Prime 2-day shipping, and what did that all look like?
Yeah.
You know. So yeah, I'm talking about a short history of shipping and commerce. I guess like shipping and postage, really.
Sure.
And I named my article "The Shippy Sock Vacation."
Took me a second.
Yeah.
That's.
Thank you.
I mean, the puns are flowing at all times, folks.
I take pride in just like hitting the puns
Taylor,
out of the park every time.
You have the puns like on lock always. Like especially like when you were on Twitter, your Twitter names were always great.
Yes, thank you. I know. I wish that I could like recreate that somehow on just like Instagram. I really don't want to get back on Twitter, but
yeah, don't do it.
Yeah,
I promise.
Anyway, yeah, no, I'm sure it's not any better. Yeah, so what's the untold story of the world of shipping and commerce? Well, dear viewers and Phoebe, I'm here to answer just that.
Regale us.
Yeah. In the 3rd century BC, folks began to realize that moving stuff across water was way more efficient than walking it across land masses. These early shipments were goods stuffed into barrels and loaded onto boats, and then taken off the boats and unpackaged and either sold at the ports or then carried to another place, wherever civilization was to sell. Mm-hmm. The oldest boat that we know of, just fun side fact, is called the Pesce canoe, which dates back to 7600 BC.
Damn.
Yeah. So, boating real early there.
They were like, this shit floats.
Yeah. That's crazy.
Let's make a boat out of it.
Let's fucking boat it up.
Let's boat it up, baby.
Yeah, they were taking their Sundays on the pond for
sure. They were have you heard that? I guess like country song that's like on the pontoon.
I think so, yeah.
It's a fun one.
You're getting countryified.
Oh God, no, I'm not. I'm like, it's gonna happen, and I'm like, fuck.
Well, yeah, I mean, and you can like a few country songs.
I can appreciate it.
Yeah.
I can appreciate it.
There is, I mean, there's definitely some bad country out there, but
that one actually came from my like high school boyfriend who was also very country.
Yeah, little yeehaw.
He was a yeehaw for sure, and in a bad way though.
In a bad way.
Not like crazy.
Yeah.
Just like he was not.
Yeah.
Anyway. He
spent too long of a stay in Hickville, It's
just like you live in like Draper, Utah.
It's
like you're not a cowboy.
Yeah, like it's always fucking the Draper guys.
Every
like
single time.
Dudes.
They have like a dually truck, and I'm like, for what?
Yeah, why? What do you
hauling?
do? You live in a suburb, dog.
Yeah.
Like, chill out.
You live in Pepperwood.
Yeah, it's like drive down south like 100 miles and then come talk to me.
Exactly.
Like live in central Utah and you can
cool
have a
flannel though, bro.
Yeah, no, sick flannel. Anyway, it is believed that the ancient Persians were the first folks to use homing pigeons as a method of delivering letters.
Oh my God.
And communicating quickly. The Romans used this method in military campaigns, and even ancient Greece used pigeons to announce the winners of the Olympics to their various
cities. That's
cities.
Sick.
And I honestly didn't know this was a real thing.
I know. I
kind of thought it was just like Game of Thrones shit.
Yeah, like legend.
Yeah, but no, like this is I wasn't aware of this because I'd never really given it much thought, but the way that it works is that a pigeon will naturally know where its home is. Like it just has like an internal like compass basically.
Sure.
So the pigeon would be brought in cages from their home location to another location, and then when a communication needed to be sent, they would attach a message and then set it free to naturally find its way back.
That makes a lot more
home.
sense.
So they would have like a set of pigeons that are like this. These are from fucking Athens, and these are from another Greek city that I don't know, and these are from whatever. I can't think of any other places in Greece. But
that's sick.
Yeah, no, fucking cool, huh?
Yeah, I never really considered how that worked either, because I was like, how do they tell the bird where to go?
The bird just knows.
Yeah,
but honestly, they use ravens in like Game of Thrones, and I was like, a raven maybe could. So
I mean, ravens, as we've discussed many times, they're a little too smart.
They're uncomfortably smart.
Yeah. I'm like, hey, Raven, go deliver a letter to Taylor's house.
Yeah.
And a beer.
I read somewhere recently that there's like research and studies. It's not like 100% confirmed that ravens and crows know that a scarecrow is not a real person, but view it as like a territorial marking.
Huh.
So that's why they don't fuck with it.
Fascinating.
Yeah,
I believe that because I feel like they are not stupid.
Yeah,
and I feel like they're definitely smart enough to be like, that's clearly not a human being.
That thing hasn't moved in 7 years.
Yeah,
so.
they're like, you guys are fucking dumb.
Yeah. But anyway, so this method continued up through the 1800s. In 1851, Paul Julius Reuter would send pigeons from his office in London back to Paris for financial and stock market quotes.
Crazy.
Yeah, pretty fucking wild. With the invention of the telephone and the telegraph, pigeons would quickly be back to eating old pizza off a sidewalk in San Francisco, but countries continued to use them into World War One.
Wow.
Yeah, so they were very recent, like in the 1900s. Like they were still using pigeons. Yeah, and I guess maybe just because of like security and like
I guess that makes sense.
They're probably easier to transport at that time than like a phone line. So
true. Yeah, I mean, what, a pigeon is like 1 pound.
Yeah, you just get your fucking bunch of caged pigeons. So. Anyway, the U.S. Postal Service was actually created in 1775, shifting gears a little bit, by Benjamin Franklin, who was our very first postmaster.
Benji.
And not a president.
No, don't get it twisted.
Don't get it twisted.
Did I send you that TikTok that was like, somebody was like, oh, if Lin-Manuel Miranda made a play about Benjamin Franklin, and he like does a little rap about
I did not.
It's really funny. I'll send it to you.
Benjamin Franklin, like, had mad dick game in Paris, I'm pretty sure.
Oh, he was fucking left and right.
Yeah, it's crazy. Well, it's funny because there's the hit podcast The Dollop with Dave Anthony and Garrett Reynolds. Gareth Reynolds thought that Benjamin Franklin was a president, and Dave Anthony was like, no, he's not. And like it's just like an ongoing joke where Gareth is like, he could be a president. He could have been a president. It's not that weird to think he's not.
No, I agree. Yeah. I feel like it's like, because he's up there, with like, you're always talking about Benjamin Franklin when you're talking about all those other guys, and so I feel like you would assume he's a president. Makes sense to me.
Then I was telling Eden about that, and Eden was like, yeah, I didn't know that he wasn't a president. Valid.
It's fine. I didn't know that New England wasn't a state. It's like, I guess I did, but I just somebody says New England, and I'm like, oh, cool, that's a state.
Well, yeah, and then it's also like, I don't know that much about sport, but like, where the fuck are the Patriots from? Do they have a home state?
Yeah.
The New England Patriots.
Wait a minute. How does that work?
Do they all share the Patriots? Do they like
right? Like all of those, 7? I think.
Yeah, like the 6 original fucking colonies. But I mean, all of New England is just like northeast. Do they just share it? Like what the? I'm confused. Yeah. You know what? Explain that, football. Yeah. Explain that.
Yeah. Get to the bottom of that.
Explain that, liberals. Yeah. But anyway, yeah. First postmaster, and the governmental service was permanently put into place with the Post Office Act of 1792. This, of course, involved stagecoaches in the beginning, as well as some solo riders delivering mail. That changed with the new hot trend of the railroad.
Whoa.
Mail sent by train continued all the way through the 1970s.
Damn.
Yeah. At its height in the 1800s, the railway mail system would handle 93% of all non-local mail in the country. So if you were shipping something, it was probably on a train.
I mean, I support that. Let's bring it back.
Bring back trains, dude. Trains are cool and
bring
sick.
Back trains in a big way.
Yeah, huge. I had to fucking, when we were kids, we had, the trains that go around your Christmas tree?
Yeah.
We had that, but it was the Hogwarts Express, which was rad.
Wow.
Yeah. In 1860, a little organization was established called the Pony Express. You may have heard of it.
We snaw.
This was born from the need for the brand new baby territory of California to communicate with the inland states, with its growing population from the 1848 gold rush. By February of 1861, 80 riders would travel along the route of the Pony Express, which spanned from California to Missouri. The riders would be given a pouch, which was called the machilla, I think. Machilla.
Sure.
It's the Spanish word for
machilla.
Machilla. It's the Spanish word for pouch or backpack.
Okay.
That held the letters and packages. Apparently, the employers placed like a real emphasis on the pouch, on the machilla.
I mean, you got a pouch. It's like, check out my pouch.
Yeah, like, dude, I got a fucking pouch, and
I got a pouch,
and
it's full
kangaroos
of
got
your
it.
mail.
So, yeah.
A package came in the mail.
Whoa, dude. Sounds a little fucking gay to me, dude. But there's some reports saying that they would instruct the riders that themselves and their horses were to perish before the machilla did.
My God.
They were like, fucking die before this pouch gets lost, dude.
This pouch is the most important thing.
Yeah, I was like, whoa, dude.
Good God.
That's crazy. Yeah.
Live by the pouch, die by the pouch.
Literally. Capri Sun was right all along. Respect the pouch, dude.
Respect the pouch. That was their thing.
Yeah.
Respect
Those
the
commercials
pouch.
were wild.
Did you hear or see that they've taken the Capri Sun out of the pouch? It's in like a little bottle now.
Oh, that's stupid.
That's the stupidest shit I've ever heard. It only tastes good because it's in a pouch.
Because it's the pouch, and also.
Do you hate joy?
Yeah. What's wrong with the joy? What's wrong with the childhood whimsy of drinking it out of a pouch?
God forbid.
What's wrong with the branding? Everybody knows you have a pouch drink. It's fucking Capri Sun.
It's an instant classic,
Yeah,
and you're gonna remove
you
that,
put it
and
in a
now
bottle now?
and now what? You're no better than Tropicana.
That's what I'm saying. What is it? Fucking Sunny D now,
yeah,
dude?
I
Come
couldn't
on.
tell the difference because it's all in a bottle. I don't know.
I don't fucking know. Do they not have the straws anymore?
I don't think so. I think it's like a twist off. Yeah, I'm like, what is this horse shit?
Yeah, I mean, I can understand maybe saving plastic is good, but like the straws were nice.
I feel
I
like
like the little straw.
a bottle is just as much plastic.
That's
You know
also
what I mean?
true.
If not
That's
more,
also
maybe,
true.
than a pouch.
Yeah, no, you make a lot of points. Yeah.
What can I say?
Yep. So, well, Capri Sun, you've disappointed me.
Yeah. Add that to the list of
Add
people
that.
I'm gonna fight.
Yeah, Capri Sun. Shit list. Let's go. The Paiute War was a collection of raids and attacks from westward expansionists done against the Paiute native tribe. This caused the Pony Express to temporarily shut down in 1860 due to the fighting. And it was like officially established in 1861, but they were like, test running and stuff. Like
working at the kinks.
Yeah. They were around for a while. And at one point, the Paiute attacked Williams Station, one of the Pony Express outposts for the riders. Here's a quote from the Wikipedia article. One account says the raid was a deliberate attempt to provoke war. Another says the raiders had heard that men at the station had kidnapped 2 Paiute women, and fighting broke out when they went to investigate and free the women. Either way, the war party killed 5 men, and the station was burned. Which, again, pretty understandable. You have all these fucking westward gold rush motherfuckers being like, get out of here, I need to find my gold.
Right.
Gold! So gold! Yeah, no, for sure. Well, kill my corn. It's my favorite quote from, have you ever seen Gravity Falls?
No.
Dude, you gotta watch it.
Should I?
Yeah, it's
okay,
really good.
I will.
It's really good, especially if this is the perfect time to watch it. It's spooky.
Yeah.
So
okay.
it's basically like a conspiracy, cryptid show.
Oh my God.
I know.
I will love it.
You would love it.
All right, I'm going to watch.
But there's a senile old man who actually plays a really important part in the story, but nobody believes him because he's an old crazy man.
Right.
But he has all these southern colloquialisms.
Oh, I love it.
He's like, well, kettle my corn. It's good. Anyway, the Pony Express was a short-lived venture, though, as again, the implementation of the telegram would modernize communication. And just everybody, all the states becoming states and whatnot.
Right.
And they're like, well, we should probably get like, an official post office and shit. Like, I guess we gotta talk to people in California.
God forbid.
Yeah. Ugh. October 26th, 1861, it announced its closure officially, lasting only 18 months. This was also due to the turmoil of the Civil War.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Bad times.
Bad times.
America had a rough start.
We were, yeah.
For so many reasons.
It was tough. It was tough. What isn't tough? Taking a little break. And going to the bathroom.
Going potty.
And maybe getting a seltzer, but not an alcoholic seltzer.
No.
Just a regular seltzer.
Just a spindrift.
Yeah.
For tonight.
Yeah. But anyway. Break.
I love a pigeon.
Yeah.
I love pigeons.
One of my favorite, and the reason I put that in the article was those pigeons when we were in San Francisco.
Dude.
Who were just like fighting over a piece of pizza. And I was like, oh, these are California pigeons.
Oh,
like,
yeah.
Like, this pigeon just pulled a knife on me, dude. Like
completely. Yeah. It's like, back the fuck away from my pizza.
Like, Utah pigeons ain't got shit on California pigeons, dude.
No. Yeah. They were crazy out there. And they're kind of huge, too. Like,
yeah, they're large birds.
Bigger than, like, I think our pigeons are.
Yeah, no, they definitely seem... Whatever they're doing out in California, they just make those pigeons bigger.
I feel like big city pigeons are just like big.
Yeah,
I feel like they just have to like protect themselves or something, so they're like extra big.
They get bulkier.
They do. They're bulked up on fucking street pizza.
I can't even imagine what a New York pigeon looks like.
I'm like afraid to see. I feel like they would hurt me.
True, and they
would rob me.
They would.
It's not even like the people in New York; it's the pigeons.
Yeah, no, you gotta be everything in New York.
Everybody's trying to rob you.
The rats fucking be pickpocketing you there. Like, I remember because like when you're like a teenager, a lot of teenage reminiscing today. But
I know, huh? That's
when you're like a teenager, you like have this like this grandiose dream. Like you watch like the Devil Wears Prada ones.
Oh, and you're like, I'm gonna move to New York.
Concrete jungle where dreams are made.
Where they're made of, yes.
And I feel like I spoke with someone who lived in New York, and they were like, yeah, like I see why like people think that, but it's also just like a giant trash fire. Of a city.
Yeah, it's like
there's
they
rats
had that like
everywhere.
Crazy garbage problem where there was just like garbage everywhere and it like smelled fucking bad all the time. There's garbage everywhere.
$3,000 for a fucking coat closet, like. Yeah, it's like he's like it's really not that
no,
it's really not that cool.
No. You're not gonna be living like what's that show?
Sex and the City?
Yep.
Yeah.
You're not gonna be living like
You're not
Sex
living
and the
like
City.
Carrie Bradshaw, dude.
Exactly.
Yeah. Unfortunate. Anyway, in 1899 we saw the automobile hit the mail game. Here's a quote from history.com. I skipped one. Did I skip one? I think I did skip one. My bad. We'll get to that in a second.
Bring us back.
Speaking of the Civil War, that's where we were at before we hit 1899. And the Pony Express. In 1861, after discontinuing the Pony Express, the government formed a $1 million contract with none other than Wells Fargo.
Oh, yeah.
To begin to run the route of the Pony Express.
That's right.
And kind of just the whole like western side of the U.S.
Mm-hmm.
In the same vein, the company American Express was also created as a shipping company back in 1850.
God, duh.
And I don't know why so many like mail companies became banks, but
yeah, that's interesting, huh?
Yeah, I don't know.
I just got an Amex for the first time. Maybe I shouldn't announce that.
Is the Delta?
It's it is.
Yeah. That's like the best one to have.
I mean,
with how much you travel.
Endless perks.
Yeah.
You get to go to the Sky Lounge.
Yeah, I've heard the Sky Lounges are...
I want to go. People are sucking and fucking in the Sky Lounge.
They gotta be, right?
They have to be.
Yeah, I feel like the Sky Lounge... it seems so elite, you know?
It seems so elite.
Will you
and
please show me to the Sky Lounge?
Yeah, and the
know?
doors, like, you know, it's like you can't see through, and they like open it, and they like make sure there's no like outside airport riffraff getting to look, and they're like, right this way, sir, and they have like a glass of champagne. They like brush your hair for you.
Oh yeah, they're like, sorry that you had to walk through the main entrance with all the pores.
Sorry you had to see the pores.
Yeah, literally, that's how it feels. No, that's sick for you though.
Thanks, I'm excited.
I bet. Yeah, so that was a shipping company as well in 1850 and would handle the shipping of mostly financial documents, but also some goods and materials for individuals. It operated as a private company, though, so no government contracts that I could find. And then in 1899, we saw the automobile hit the mail game, as I was saying. Mm-hmm. Here's a quote from History.com. In 1899, an electric automobile collected the mail from 40 mailboxes in Buffalo, New York, in an hour and a half, less than half the time of a horse-drawn wagon. The use of automobiles, both electric and gas-powered, increased after 1913, when postal carriers began delivering packages as well as letters, and by 1933, only 2% of urban postal vehicles were horse-drawn.
Why did I not know that electric vehicles existed before, like, now times?
Yeah, I guess I just kind of put the quote there. I didn't even think about that. I can imagine they probably existed with electricity, like someone figured it out, but they just weren't like very good.
Yeah, and certainly not what we're like using now.
Yeah.
It probably has some like giant like Edison coil on it.
Probably, and I can imagine that it like probably didn't go very fast, and like I mean even now there's like a problem with charging, like how much charge you can get on them and stuff. So interesting though. Yeah. With Jeeps, sit-stand trucks, and small vehicles known as mailsters among the earliest delivery vehicles.
Cute.
Yeah, mailsters.
Mailsters.
A little mailster. In 1911, we saw the first ever U.S. mail flight when Earl Ovington flew some mail from one city to another in the state of New York. By 1918, the airmail flight program was in full swing. And by 1924, it only took 1 day, 10 hours, and 20 minutes to fly something transcontinentally.
That's pretty fucking crazy.
So, pretty wild.
Yeah.
So people were just kind of like figuring shit out. They were like, how fast can I get my fucking Wish order, you know? Or I guess Sheen is the new thing. My Sheen order, you know?
My letter from Barbara.
Literally, yeah. How fast can you get this back to my, like, you know, wife who's waiting for me to come home from the war. Then, of course, in 1956, everything we knew about shipping changed with the invention of the metal crate, which is surprisingly, the article I read made it sound crazy, dude.
Like,
they were like,
everything
this
changed.
is fucking insane, dude. And this is less on the mail side, more on the shipping side of things. But obviously, this is more in the realm of shipping large amounts of goods rather than personal letters. But truck driver Malcolm McLean stacked 58 metal crates on a ship going from New Jersey to Texas. Instead of having to unpack the items and reload them into a truck or train, the metal crate allowed them to be seamlessly moved from boat to truck or train car and carried to their next destination. So it's like the standardization of the metal crate really like revolutionized shipping goods.
It's funny that it's like this one thing, but
it's funny how simple of a concept it is.
Right. It's like, I can't believe they didn't think about metal crate until
1956, dude. Like
they're like, hold on.
Literally, there's like some of y'all's parents were alive when they were like, we should have the same thing that just goes on everything, you know? Yeah, it's crazy. But yeah, the article was just like, metal fucking crates are the craziest fucking thing ever, dude.
You're never gonna believe this.
Like, I don't know if, like, it's like probably some like college student who's studying like commerce and stuff.
Right, and like, was like, metal crates.
They were like, this is insane. Yeah, no, it's funny. It is very funny the like articles that this show causes me to stumble upon. I'm sure you as well, where you're like, someone's really passionate about this really niche
specific ass thing
that like I just am like happen to be looking into for this like my like weird podcast, you know. But
and it's probably been like me, their teacher, and like 2 other people have read this, right?
Like ever, yeah. Yeah, the amount of like, and I understand websites and organizations need to make money, but the amount of like paywalls and like academic literature that I get locked out of because of the paywall is always hard. And I'm like, man, I'm not gonna pay $10 for like all the documents on some like weird historical thing that happened like 100 years ago for like a maybe 10 minutes like portion of this podcast. Like I just can't bring myself to do it.
Yeah, I'm with you.
Yeah, but this brings us to our modern era. So there, cars, planes started going on.
Planes,
trucks,
trains, automobiles.
Exactly. Guns, germs, and steel. The way the West was won, or something like that.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Probably. This brings us to our modern era where we have Amazon Prime Air.
Hooray!
Yeah, so fun.
The best.
In a world in which Amazon drones will literally fly your stuff to you, Jeff Bezos, friend of the pod, introduced the concept in 2013 in a 60 Minutes interview, and the company has been at work to get it started since then. Currently, there are 2 U.S. cities where you can get drone delivery, and it is planned to expand and start testing delivery in the UK and Italy this year, 2024.
Damn.
Which I'm like, why are you moving it over to Europe if it's
why not
available in all
more America?
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, like, no shade to Europe, but like, if you started here,
yeah, like, wouldn't you finish here
you
first?
Would think.
But
I don't know.
I really don't know, because like I feel like there was a lot of like hubbub about this when it first happened.
For sure,
like
I
people
remember.
were like, your stuff can come by a drone.
It's fucking crazy.
Yeah, like there's like the metal crates of
Truly.
drones. But yeah, like when I read that it was like only available in 2 cities, I was like, oh, so like I feel like Amazon definitely made it seem like it was more expansive than it actually is.
I think so. Maybe the Italians were like really vying for that. They're like, we need the shipping.
Yeah, my meatball is faster. Phoebe, what's the most you've ever paid for shipping on an item, if you can recall?
Shit.
Or maybe a better question is, what's the most you would
that
be
I would
willing
pay?
to? Yeah.
Depends on the item, but I feel like if it's over $10, I'm usually like, I don't need this.
Yeah, I'm like, I'll wait. Yeah.
Honestly, if it's over $7, if it's like something that's like, a special gift for somebody from like an artist in fucking Croatia or whatever. But like, if there's something that I'm getting off like a dumb website and the shipping is more than like the standard $7, I'm like, fuck this. I don't care.
Yeah,
I don't need this anymore.
I don't care. For sure. In 2022, it cost Amazon, and this is a little bit of a misnomer because this is like the price for Amazon to do it. But I'm sure it would be passed down to the individual in some way or another. But it would cost them $484 per drone delivery.
Holy shit.
And then they expected that to lower to $63 per drone delivery in 2025. But I'm still personally not paying $63 to have my online shopping fucking helicoptered in.
Yeah, like I think I can wait the 2-day Prime shipping. Like I don't think there's anything that I need like that badly.
Yeah, and I don't know
and then I'll just go get it myself if it's like
Literally.
that important. Like most shit on Amazon you can get at the damn grocery store.
Yeah, no, literally. Yeah, and I don't know why it cost them so much. Like the article didn't really go into like where that cost was coming from, but again, I can imagine that if it's costing them even $63 to ship, they're probably, whether it's like fees or shipping fees or general like raising the processing fees or even the price of the item, like you're going to be paying for that one way or another.
For sure. Well, and it's like funny that they were making it sound like it's like crazy efficient and like this amazing revolutionary thing, and it's like $1 zillion and it only exists in 2 states, and I can only imagine how many people are actually using this.
Yeah, because again, it's like
nobody's
anything
getting their shit droned to them. I'm sorry.
Yeah, and then it's like that's like kind of what you were saying. Like anything I'm buying off Amazon, if it's that important, I'll go get it from the store.
Exactly.
And if it's not that important, like
I'll wait a day.
I'll wait a little bit longer.
It's fine.
Like, and and that's like, I feel like the free 2-day shipping of Amazon Prime is like very, like people wouldn't care about it nearly as much if it didn't also just like have Prime involved. You know, like the streaming service of Prime.
Yes.
like the free 2-day shipping is not enough to like make people want to actually pay for something.
Right.
I feel
like waiting a week for
personally.
something's not that crazy.
Yeah, and again, anything you're buying on Amazon is not like priceless enough that you like
right.
need it right now, you
No.
know. But now, of course, as with most progress towards automation, this tech has the potential to threaten many jobs of normal working class folks who drive delivery vehicles. I think kind of just in a general sense, as we push towards more convenience and quote unquote efficient ways of shipping, and not even just shipping, but like in general, I've always kind of thought like when you experience something that is, you know, supposedly supposed to make things more convenient for the customer, it's always at a cost to the employees who are having to do that thing.
100%. I mean, truck drivers is a great example of this. Like, these are the people, you know, I'm sure that like Amazon, like freight or whatever, like they're probably being pushed by Amazon to like get there as fast as you fucking can. So like take as little breaks as possible.
Yeah. Oh, I'm sure. And then, you know, we know about the Amazon, like, you know, warehouses and how insane those are.
And even the drivers, the delivery drivers, there was that thing going around about like they're not allowed to take bathroom breaks.
Yeah. And then it's like, and then I think of it like in context of anything, right? Like, oh, like fucking, what's one? Jimmy John's, and now they're like obsessed with how fast they can.
Delivery.
Yeah, like it's like they have to like bust their asses to like keep up this like image of convenience, right? Like you can get your sandwich in 30 seconds. Like
it's like I can fucking wait 10 minutes.
Yeah,
it's chill.
It's this like obsession with how fast and how convenient things can be.
Yes, and it's like always like on the other end of it, the person is suffering.
Yeah, and it always like trickles down. Yeah, but yeah, so it's important to consider the actual human beings who are behind transporting that stuff, as Phoebe was saying. And the faster
longshore workers on strike right now. I think I said dock workers earlier. I think it's technically longshore workers. I don't know what the difference is, I'll be honest.
I also am not sure, but yeah, the faster you get something usually means the harder somebody had to work to get that to you, and it begs the question, do we really need things so quickly? It's my big philosophical take of the episode, right? Is getting your stuff a day later at the expense of a truck driver, a sailor, or even a factory worker who doesn't have to pull, you know, a 12-hour shift.
Right.
I say we become a little bit more patient as a society.
Chill out.
And,
it's
you know,
cool if you're fucking like cloth to wipe your glasses off comes a day later than you want it.
Yeah. Or it's like, oh man, the Taco Bell drive-thru has 40 cars waiting for it. Maybe I won't scream at this minimum wage employee, you know?
Exactly.
I speak from personal experience.
Taylor lore.
Yeah, I did work at Taco Bell, and remember this guy got so mad. He was like, I've been waiting 10 minutes for my food or whatever. And I was like, first of all, you've been waiting 7 minutes for your food. I see the clock right here. And also, there's like 40 people in this lobby right now. What do you, like, we can't, I don't know. It's
also, it's Taco Bell.
It's Taco Bell, man.
Down.
Yeah. There's I mean, you know, as funny as like Karens are, and, you know, it's fun to like make fun of them. It's like, there's this like weird, sorry, I'm kind of ranting, but there's this weird like thought, or I guess like common belief, I feel like, in America, where it's like almost like they like employees owe it to you, or like and it's funny because it's not even like it's that like classic meme of like, well, I'm gonna go to a different store or whatever, and it's like, okay, you can fucking go. I don't care. I don't own this company, you know? And it's like this weird belief that like employees are like need to like kiss your ass because you're like a patron of the because
you're a customer.
And it's like, no, I guess it's the customer's always right mentality
for
and it's
sure.
Like that's with all jobs, it's still a person who's working that job.
Exactly.
Like, I don't know.
Exactly.
It's crazy.
Like, just because you're paying, it's like, are you gonna like bitch at your doctor for like being like? No, nobody ever bitches at their stupid doctor for being late, even though they are every single time. But it's like,
Yeah.
oh, my Wendy's took 5 fucking minutes extra. I'm going to rip this person's face off because I'm an asshole who needs to go to anger management therapy.
Yeah, it's strange. I don't know if it's like a weird power dynamic or they feel like superior or what it is, but it's very, again, I feel like it's, I mean, maybe there's other cultures that have it too, but I feel like it's just a very Western thing to be
I
like.
would agree.
Western and capitalist thing to be like, you are getting my money, so you need to be, like you have this weird allegiance to me or something.
Exactly.
I don't know.
Exactly.
I don't know. It's strange, but
It is strange.
normalize, again, treating human beings good? Question mark? Normalize not being a fucking asshole, I guess.
Please.
I don't know, dude. I don't know.
Those lemon spinnies hit.
I was gonna say this lemon spindrift is really doing my dishes. As I would say, mopping my floors.
Yeah. Dusting my ceiling fans.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, and I think that's beautiful.
Truly.
Anyway, want to plug some things?
Let's plug some things. You can follow our Instagram at Remarks Pizzity Podcast. It's not Pizzity. It's just podcast.
Twitter.com Remarks Pod. I think I did post the last episode.
You did.
So that's good.
You did.
That's
good.
Sometimes I forget.
Listen, we're trying here.
We're trying. I am going to, I was telling Phoebe, get a phone tripod, and we're going to do a little video.
We're going to do some videography for you guys.
Videography.
So you can look at our sexy little faces.
True. And
we're pivoting to video.
Again, it might start off putting it on the Patreon at first, but yeah, like if it seems to be good, then maybe I'll throw it on YouTube or something and keep the Patreon for the bonus eps and whatnot.
You can see the inside of my house and see Shiv running around.
It is a lovely inside of the house.
Thank you so much.
I do like it.
I'm working hard on it.
Yeah, it's great.
Thank you. This is a lot of your own blood, sweat, and tears. So.
Yes, I did help renovate the home at first when Phoebe first moved in.
The home of the pod.
Yeah, but yeah, and then you can find my music. It's Taylor Lacey. If you want to listen to me sing some things.
Listen to it.
Yeah.
Open your ears to it, folks.
Yeah.
It's good shit.
And my personal Instagram is tlace_19.
I guess my personal Twitter is at Phoebes Elise if you want to look at my stupid shit posts. That's it.
I think that's it. Yeah.
Well, beautifully done. Thanks for listening. Okay, love you. Bye.